Good morning, my beautiful friends. How are you? It is rainy and cold here, but I wanted to get a rune pull out in the morning when it can do us some good for today. So we have our runes. We'll get some energy. Let's see what Spirit has in store for us today. All right, what do we have? Oh, we have Nauthiz, which is need or not this. So, yesterday we had Thurisaz, and today we have need, which is another of the menacing stones. And the Nauthiz stone is about needing something to happen, or you have a need, or there's something that has to happen that is good or bad, but even if it's bad, it'll be good, right? So, but don't take my word for it. Let us read it, shall we? Just so you get, in case anything else here resonates for you. It's a menacing stone. Restriction, conflict, willpower, endurance, self-reliance, not this. Distress, restrictions, life lessons for development, opposite to heart. Hard times are coming. Must take action or act. Life is out of control. Don't wait until it's too late. Realistic new world. Obstacles created by you. Obstacles created by others. So if this is speaking to you, there's things in the way, and that kind of goes with the thorn yesterday. The thorn is something that sticks in you, and an obstacle is something in front of you that prevents you from moving forward. So, really kind of take a look around you. Take a look at your energy. Take a look at your physical space, but also your emotional space. Like, are there things that are blocking you from progressing forward? Are you holding on to feelings, or are you holding on to habits that need to stop in order for you to get better, right? Sometimes, we think saying goodbye is the worst thing, but it isn't. Sometimes you have to say goodbye to grow, and that's that can be really, really hard. And it's never easy to walk away from someone or something that you love, right? If you have a favorite hobby and it's just too expensive to do, then it's hard to walk away from it. If there's somebody that you love and it's not a good situation for you, and it's not for your highest good, it's not reciprocated or whatever, it's hard to walk away from the things that you truly love. Sometimes you have to. Sometimes you have to love things from a distance. I find myself in that role with a certain friend of mine. He just won't let me in, so I can't not love him. I love him, so it's not an option not to love him, but I have accepted that my role is to love him from afar, and he's never going to let me in. Or maybe he will down the line, but for right now, the energy's not there for him, so he has to grow and do whatever his work is on this earth. So, just take a look around you. What's kind of like thorn, what's stuck, and then look at, it's funny because yesterday I pulled Isa 2, which is ice, which is, literally like frozen. So, those are all the menacing stones. So ice, like where you're like slipping and sliding and you can't really get a grasp on things. And then the thorn, a Thurisaz being stuck. And then today you have this need, this necessity, these blocks, these things that are in the way. So, so there's some hinky energy going on. So really just be aware, pay attention, keep your wits about you. Let's get a clarifying card just to maybe clarify these stones. These are really weird stones, but the way that I look at it is, equinox is coming on the 24th or 21st rather. So an equinox is the equal, however you want to look at it, equal day and night. And if you've ever like put food on a scale, before it like evens out, there's always a little bit of like, you know, in digital scales, there's always that little bit of, before an actual weight is confirmed. And I feel like that's kind of what's going on is, the negative energies are weighing up with the positive energies of spring, so that you go into the next season in balance. So let nature, let the universe do her work. But let's get a card to clarify. Why are we getting all these menacing stones, Spirit? What do we have to work on with these menacing stones? So we have the Maiden, which is innocence, love, and the past. So these stones are all centered around probably an issue of love or something from your past, right? So be careful with it. I think these stones are all about a relationship. They have some kind of relationship that it's kind of like it's just frozen, it's stuck, it's not going anywhere. Let it go. Um, this is, it's not the, like in order for the relationship to progress, the thorn's gonna have to come out. Remember the story of the lion, and he had the thorn. Thorn's gonna have to come out, right? The ice is gonna have to melt. And notice in those things that those are things that are beyond your control, right? You can't, I mean, you could force ice to melt. You could get a heater out and force it to melt, but then you cause a flood. So you have to let it happen naturally. You have to let these things happen naturally. And then, like the need, I always think about with the Nauthiz stone, like, not this again, right? Like, Jesus, we got to go through this again. So it's like, I just, and I understand this because I going through something similar and with a person that I know, and it's just like, I thought I was over this. Why do I have to go through this again? And why do I have to keep going through this? And the reason I keep going through it is because I truly love this person. And it breaks my heart that this person just doesn't, this person says that this person loves me, but I really do think it's a different kind of love, because this person was in the hospital and never told me, and it was in for like days, and it broke my heart that he didn't think that he could tell me, or that he didn't want to tell me, that he didn't want to include me. And then I sit back and I think, well, he's not the kind of guy, he probably didn't call anybody. I mean, maybe he's seeing somebody and he had somebody there, but I'm thinking, oh my gosh, he was alone in the hospital, like all by himself, and he didn't have a support system, and he didn't have, somebody who can see him on his worst day and still love him. Because he's a bit superficial, and I don't mean that in a like superficial bad way. I mean, like, he only really shows people like a certain depth to himself. He doesn't let them go deep. That's what I mean. I don't mean it in a judgmental way. But I see him, and I know that I would protect everything underneath those layers. And I think he knows that, but he, in this lifetime, I think his lesson in this lifetime is, to live with all these barriers that he's created for himself. So, it's frustrating because I know that, and I accept that about him. I mean, I love him, and I accept that this is who he is, and I accept that our relationship is gonna never be what it was, and it's, moving forward, but so the Nauthiz stone, not this again. Then the ice stone, Isa. This is just, it's slippery ice, because, then I think about it, and it's like that I can't spend my energy. He's not spending energy thinking about how to create a relationship with me. He's written me off because he doesn't have to deal with the emotions that go with it. So, and it's not fun for him, right? Like, he likes fun, and a relationship with me, friendship wise, is and thinking about how to work that out, not fun. So he's not thinking about me at all. So, so I gotta let it go, right? And then today's stone, I'm getting the message, Spirit, like, let it go, right? Like, this is, this is what it is. And the lessons that I'm supposed to learn, I've been learning throughout this year that we've been separated. But he's not doing this kind of work. So I can't expect, when you're in school and you're learning the same thing, and some kids study and some kids don't, and then the spelling bee comes and half the kids can spell and the other half can't. I can't expect him to be where I am spiritually, thinking about our relationship, because he's not thinking about it at all, and he's not doing this kind of work, and he's not interested in doing this kind of work. He is accepted, or he's accepted that this is the way his life is going to be, and he's okay being alone. As a person who loves him, I don't want to see him alone, but I can't make those choices for him. So something in your life is similar to this, I'm sure. And, I think Spirit's speaking pretty loud and clear, like, move on. Move on, and the energy, you know, this person is going to have to work on his energy, and protect my own energy, because I have amazing other relationships that I don't neglect. I try not to neglect relationships. I am a little hesitant to make close relationships, which is probably the reason I get fixated on the ones that I'm super close to, because I really, as friendly as I am and as outgoing as I am, I tend to keep my inner circle very, very tight. And so, and this person was part of that inner circle. And there's a hole there, for, a person. And so, don't be desperate to fill the hole, like, focus on the people still left in the circle. But I miss him, and that's the truth. Because it's a person that was in the inner circle, and those are rare, coveted spots. Anyway, I'm wishing you all the best light and love. Have an amazing day. And if you're in Eastern U.S. or anywhere, if you're anywhere, be safe, because there's just horrible weather everywhere. Prayers and light and love to our friends out in California and all around the world that are just dealing with horrible weather. All right, wishing you the best of light and love. Be well. Bye-bye.